Hi, everyone. Welcome and join me here as I'll be talking about gout and not just the medical side of this, but also the emotions that can be suppressed behind this ailment as well. Hi everyone, Yvette Rose here, founder of Metaphysical Anatomy Technique. And this technique is a beautiful, graceful, gentle technique that's designed to help you to shift anxiety, depression, blockages that you might have in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or physical pain. Perhaps you even have self-sabotage or secondary gains that you want to get rid of. This technique is for you. It's very gentle. You don't even have to talk about your problems. You don't even really need to remember the root causes. You can also heal without needing to relive the trauma. And you can find out so much more at YvetteRose.com. And guys, welcome here to the emotional root causes behind gout. Now, let's start off with just what gout is. Gout is a common form of an inflammatory arthritis that is very, very painful. And it usually affects one joint at a time. And normally, in this case, often the big toe. There are also times when symptoms actually can get worse, known as flares. And also times when there are no symptoms at all. And this can also be known as remission. Now, repeated bouts of gout can also lead to gouty arthritis and a worsening form of arthritis. And doctors actually place gout under the umbrella of the term arthritis, which is a broad range of joint diseases and also joint pain. Some forms of arthritis inflame joints, while others actually don't. Now, gout has also been defined as, for example, being a metabolic disorder, which causes inflammation of the joints. Metabolic disorder. That already says a lot. Now, during also acute episodes, certain joints can swell up within just a few hours and become very sensitive to pain as well. And the inflammation is triggered by tiny, tiny little shaped little crystals of uric acid that mainly builds up in the joints. And these crystals may form if there's too much uric acid in the body. Now, did you know that the first identified part of gout has actually been founded by the Egyptians 2,640 years before Christ? And this was podagra, which is also known as acute gout occurring in the first joint. This was later actually also recognized by Hippocrates in the 5th century before Christ, who also referred to it as the unwalkable disease. Now, these Hippocrates also noted the link between the disease and an intemperate lifestyle, referring to podagra as an arthritis of the rich, as opposed to rheumatism, an arthritis of the poor. Now, 6 centuries later, Galen was the first to actually describe the tophi, the crystallized monosodium urate deposits that can follow hyperuricemia. Now, Galen associated gout with debauchery and also recognized a hereditary trait that had previously been referred to by the Roman senator Seneca. Now, later, gout was actually described by Thomas Sinham and the famous English physician of the prominent Hippocratic medicine, who was himself also disabled by gout and renal disease. Very interesting. But also now here, what I want to touch with you on is the common symptoms of gout. And this can include, for example, intense pain, redness, stiffness, swelling, and also tenderness. Now, there are many medical emotional factors that can contribute to the onset or the development of gout. And for example, one of many, not exclusively to this, guys, obesity or a lot of extra weight. It can also be congestive heart failure. It can be because of diabetes, family history of gout. It can be hypertension, high blood pressure, and also kidney disease. Now, many patients also have a lot of guilt actually associated with their disease, stemming from the myth that gout is inflicted from poor dietary and lifestyle habits. Now, patients also suffer from participating in life activities, for example, less and less and less, and independent due to difficult mobility or embarrassment over unattractive tophi. You are also much more likely to develop gout if you consume a high diet in animal protein. Also consume, for example, a lot of significant amount of alcohol, and also, for example, if you are on water pills as well. But even non-drinkers also can get gout. When we look now at the psychosomatics of gout, which we're going to be referencing here from the Metaphysical Anatomy book, which is a book of 679 medical elements, and I wrote about the emotional psychosomatic stress behind all these elements. So now let's have a look at here. Here we have gout. So let's see a little bit of a sneak preview. What is happening for you if you're affected by gout? So people affected by gout often have very strong control issues, and you might feel immensely out of control and very disempowered and deeply resent the circumstances around you that you cannot control. So what I'm seeing here, basically, it's almost like your circumstances is causing you to feel out of control. And the more you feel out of control, the more you get stuck in that loop, the more resentment is building up because you feel unsafe. And you can potentially move into what's called the fight instinct, or at least the suppress aspect of it, because most of the time people who have gout don't necessarily stand up for themselves until they're in a place where they're so angry that they lash out. But that also means that you're actually now in damage control mode. You're not actually now in a constructive state where you can actually fix a problem, but much more so now you're in damage control. So let's see, here's another paragraph. You often find it very challenging to face mistakes and take responsibility for any part you may have played. And the reason for that is because you have had absolutely enough of dealing with too much responsibility. You've always been the one that had to carry everything, and you have absolutely now had enough. You're starting to find your self-worth, and you're starting to realize and think, well, is that really my problem? Is this really my issue? Should I really be taking this on? So there's quite a beautiful sense of awareness that is bursting through this condition as well, but is now also in a state of where it's in damage control mode. So there is delicate steps needing to be taken to constructively move out of this pattern, to gracefully move out of this cycle where you found yourself stuck in, where you can become the scapegoat for everything because it's just not your job anymore. So there's so much more there here in the Metaphysical Anatomy book, and I hope that that helps. And remember, guys, to subscribe, stay up to date to more greatest research and information I'd love to share with you. And until next time, be the light that you are. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm sure that you learned a lot. So guys, subscribe to my channel here and also hit the notifications bar, and so that you can get notified every time when I upload a new video. So guys, also remember to share the video and also look out for courses that I have below in the description bar. And until next time, be the light that you are.